Okay, boys and girls, we're back, and today we're going to look at if-else statements. As you can see at this form right here, you can see that this says enter professor name. You enter the professor name, hit submit, and it will tell you if it's true or false. True meaning you got the professor's name right, false if you didn't. Let's take a look at the code. Here we have a simple if-else, and it's the best way to kind of show you how an if-else statement works. The basic foundation is you have an if statement, you begin the body with this open bracket, and you have a closed bracket to end the if statement. Right below is an else. It opens up with a bracket and closes with a bracket, and it's the body in between the brackets. In the if statement, you'll have a parentheses, open parentheses, and a closed parentheses. And what goes in there is a true statement. Meaning that if this statement is true, do the following. And the else statement is if this statement is false, do this statement. So if true, then this. Else, do this. Pretty simple logic to follow. And right here we have something new called the text.equals, namebox.text.equals. And this comes from the string class. And we know we're getting text from the namebox. What it is that you cannot use the double equals sign to compare strings. You have this use this dot equals method. And inside of the dot equals method could go into a string itself, or a variable that represents a string. In this case, I put my name in quotes to make it simple. Notice the capitalization as well, because it has to be exact when you're comparing it. And if this is true, if I enter something that says Mahendra with a capital M, it'll say true on the label. Else, it'll print false. You could create many if statements, and it is not required to have an else for every if. However, it is required that if you have an else, you must have an if. Okay? And you could also have many if statements within an if. Okay? You could have nested if statements. You could also have else ifs as well. And several else ifs, and then finally another else. This is done by having different scenarios. If this is true, else if something else is true, else if something else is true. That's when you would use the else if statements. And then finally at the end an else if everything else, if none of them were true, you will have a default where you would put something else. Alright, but here's a simple if-else. If this is true, do the following, else do this. Let's take a look at how it works. Let's go ahead and run it. And I'll enter my name correctly this time, and it says true. With lowercase, it says false. Or anything else, like say Goofy, false. Okay, well that ends this tutorial, and I will see you in the next video.